Stop. Stephen, not needed, but thank you, I appreciate it.
What are you talking about? This isn't for you. What? Get out of the way, he's coming!
What unfolds when a royal figure, long celebrated as a voice for mental health, completely unravels on national television? You're about to witness one of the most jaw-dropping moments in recent late-night history, a high-profile collapse that no PR team could spin. But before we get into it, hit that subscribe button now. Because what happened between Prince Harry and Stephen Colbert didn't just rattle the studio, it redefined what we thought we knew about the Duke of Sussex. The night was set up like any other. Lights, cameras, applause. Prince Harry entered the Late Show studio with his usual composed demeanor. Designer suit, calm expression, carefully practiced smile. This was supposed to be just another stop on his never-ending media campaign. What followed, however, was nothing short of a live implosion. Stephen Colbert greeted him with charm laced in irony. "Welcome back, Your Royal Highness," he said, pausing for effect. "Or should I say, Your Californian Majesty?" The audience laughed. Harry, not so much. He forced a smile, but the discomfort flashed across his face for a moment too long. "Just Harry is fine," he responded quickly. "Trying to move on from the royal stuff, you know." Colbert leaned in with his signature blend of wit and sharp observation. "So you're here to promote a new project? Another documentary about your journey away from the crown? No offense, but how many times can you tell the same story?" And just like that, the room changed. Harry shifted uncomfortably, clearly thrown off. "I think there's still a lot of misunderstanding about my side of things," he said. "It's important I keep telling my truth." "Your truth," Colbert repeated, eyebrows raised. Interesting phrase, because most people just call it the truth. The audience chuckled nervously. Harry's smile dropped completely. "I've only ever been honest," he said, clearly irritated. "Everything I've shared has been from a place of truth and vulnerability." Colbert wasn't backing down. "Right. But here's the thing. You've often said you felt trapped by royal life, that you had no other path. But didn't you, in fact, have every path available to you?" Tension. "Palpable," Harry responded, his voice tense. "That's not how it felt. There were expectations, constraints, judgment. You don't understand what it's like living under that microscope." "But you're choosing to be here," Colbert replied. "You're still in the spotlight. You're still telling your story. Isn't that a choice?" That single sentence, simple but surgical, struck deep. "I'm not here to stay in the spotlight," Harry said defensively. "I'm trying to clear the record." Colbert tilted his head. "Isn't it a bit contradictory, though? Asking for privacy while actively staying in front of the camera?" Harry's face reddened. "That's not the same thing. I'm protecting my family and speaking out." "Speaking out?" Colbert echoed. "Against your own family?" Silence. Colbert pushed forward. "Your father, your brother. You've made some serious public claims. Do they get to respond, or are they supposed to stay silent while you keep publishing?" "They chose silence," Harry snapped. "While the media tore me apart?" "Did they really?" Colbert asked. "Or did they just not want to air family drama on television?" Harry's voice grew louder. "They abandoned me." "You live in California, you have multi-million-dollar deals, bestsellers, security, peace. If that's abandonment, a lot of people would like to be abandoned just like that." Laughter again. Nervous. Awkward. But Harry wasn't laughing anymore. His image, the composed, thoughtful, emotionally intelligent prince, was cracking wide open. The deeper Colbert dug, the more obvious it became. This wasn't a calm conversation. This was a pressure cooker, and Harry was about to blow. The mood in the studio shifted. The audience, once amused by the exchange, now watched intense silence as the conversation began spiraling into something deeper and far more uncomfortable. Harry's voice hardened. "You don't understand what I've gone through. The pressure, the isolation, the relentless media pursuit. My life was never my own." "But you're here now," Colbert replied. "Sharing more than ever. Doesn't that seem contradictory?" "I'm setting the record straight," Harry insisted. "Telling my version because nobody else will." "But it's not just your story, is it?" Colbert said, his tone suddenly sharper. "It's also your father's story. Your brothers, your families, and yet they've stayed quiet. You've chosen to go public, so why is their silence the problem? That question pierced straight through Harry's defense. He shifted in his chair, looking momentarily lost. But then, defiance returned. "They left me to be destroyed by the press," he snapped. "I had to fight back. I had no choice." Colbert leaned forward slightly. "You had every choice. You were born with privilege most people can't even imagine. Money, power, access, freedom. And still, you're here claiming you were a prisoner." The studio fell silent again. Even the cameras seemed to hesitate. "Let me ask you something," Colbert said more softly. "You've become a symbol for mental health awareness. That's admirable. But it's been years now, and you're still publicly battling your own family. At what point does healing actually begin?" Harry clenched his jaw. "Healing starts with accountability. I've taken responsibility. They haven't. So, unless your family issues a public apology, you can't move forward?" Colbert asked. "They need to own what they did," Harry replied. Colbert didn't back down. "And what exactly did they do?" That question, more than any other, seemed to hit a nerve. "They didn't defend me. They didn't stand up for me. They let the media destroy me." Colbert nodded. "You mean they didn't release statements on your behalf every time a tabloid ran a headline?" "They could have done more," Harry said. "But didn't they support your military career? Your marriage? Your charity work? Your decision to step back?" Colbert asked. "So which part exactly did they oppose?" Harry paused, struggled. "They didn't make it easy when I left." "Leaving the royal family isn't like quitting a job," Colbert said. "It's a constitutional and international event. Security, funding, diplomacy. Did you expect them to hand you a farewell cake and let you vanish overnight?" "I expected understanding," Harry replied. "But did you explain your reasons clearly? Or did you just expect them to agree with you without discussion?" Colbert asked. That question lingered. Harry said nothing. "You know what it sounds like?" Colbert continued calmly. "It sounds like you made a hard decision, which is fine. But instead of owning it, you've spent years blaming everyone around you." "That's not fair," Harry muttered. "No," Colbert said. "It's not fair, but not in the way you think. Because when people go through trauma, most find ways to grow, to forgive, to evolve. But you've turned pain into a full-time identity." That was it. The line that broke whatever composure Harry had left. "You have no idea what I've been through," he shouted. "None. And yet here you are," Colbert replied, "inviting the world into every detail of it." Harry's fists tightened on his lap. His breathing grew heavier. His image, the one so carefully shaped through interviews, books, and Netflix specials, was slipping through his fingers. "You're just like the rest of them," Harry snapped, "pretending to care just to get a story." "I'm asking questions," Colbert responded evenly. "That's what people do when the story stops making sense." Harry stood, abrupt, shaky. "This interview is over." Colbert didn't move. "Because I asked questions you weren't ready for?" "You don't know me. You don't know my pain." "You're right," Colbert said. "I only know what you've sold to the public." For a moment, neither man said a word. The silence in the studio was so thick it felt like even the cameras were holding their breath. Then Colbert spoke. Quieter now, but no less direct. "You talk about being silenced," he said. "But you've told more about your family than any newspaper ever has. You've done interviews, books, documentaries. So who's really putting your private life on display?" Harry's face went pale, then red. "I'm telling my story," he growled. "Because nobody else will. Your story," Colbert repeated. "But is it still your story? When it drags everyone else down with you?" Something cracked in Harry's eyes. That familiar media-trained calm was gone. In its place, fury, and something even deeper. Frustration? Maybe even shame. "You think I want to do this?" he snapped. "You think I enjoy reliving all of it?" "No," Colbert said, leaning forward slightly. "I think you need to, because you've wrapped yourself so tightly in your trauma that you don't know who you are without it." "Watch your mouth," Harry barked, voice trembling. "I'm just saying what no one else will," Colbert replied. "That you've turned pain into a performance, and now you're stuck playing the lead." Harry's entire posture shifted. His hands trembled slightly, his jaw tightened again. Then, in one sudden motion, he slammed his hand onto the desk. The noise was deafening. A mug tipped over and shattered on the floor. The audience gasped. A few people instinctively recoiled in their seats. Security at the edge of the stage began moving forward. But Colbert calmly raised a hand, signaling them to hold. "He's just upset," Colbert said softly. "Let's hear him out." "A tantrum?" Harry snapped. "Is that what you think this is?" Colbert kept his voice steady. "You're the one breaking mugs on national TV, not me." "You know nothing about me," Harry said, pacing now behind his chair like a cornered animal. "You don't know what it's like to lose your mother and be paraded behind her casket at 12. You don't know what it's like to have your life scripted from birth." "You're right," Colbert said gently. "That's a terrible thing for anyone to go through. I'm not questioning your grief, Harry. I'm questioning why, all these years later, you're still using it to justify everything you do." Harry's voice cracked. "Don't you dare minimize what I've endured." "I'm not," Colbert said, now standing too. "But at some point, pain stops being an explanation and starts becoming an excuse." That stopped Harry cold. His face twisted, caught between rage and collapse. The years of tightly bottled resentment, the media management, the controlled narratives, it was all falling apart, and in real time. "I've tried to move on," he said, almost defensively. "Have you?" Colbert asked. "Because moving on doesn't usually involve Netflix specials, best-selling memoirs, and interviews that do nothing but keep the wound wide open." "You smug media hacks are all the same," Harry growled. "I'm a comedian, Harry," Colbert replied, "not a royal handler. I don't bow to anyone. I ask questions. And right now, I'm wondering, what exactly is it you want?" Harry didn't answer. Colbert took a step forward. "Do you want justice or attention? Do you want healing or headlines? Because from where I'm standing, it looks like you've chosen the latter." Harry clenched his fists. "You think I'm doing this for attention?" he spat. "For what? Sympathy? Money?" "Well," Colbert said, nodding slowly, "you have made millions from telling your story." "You're disgusting," Harry hissed. "And yet, here you are," Colbert replied. That was it. Harry stepped forward and slammed both palms on the desk this time, sending more items flying. His face flushed purple with rage. "You think you're better than me? You think because you sit in a suit behind a desk that you get to judge me?" "No," Colbert said softly, "but someone has to say the truth. And the truth is, your pain doesn't give you permission to destroy everyone else." That line cut like a blade. Harry stood frozen for a second, chest rising, breathing hard. His whole body trembled with rage, humiliation, and maybe even the sting of recognition. "I hate this," he muttered. "I hate all of it. I hate you." "I know," Colbert said, "but hating me won't fix what's broken inside you." Harry's chest heaved. For a moment, it looked like he might completely break down. His expression softened just slightly, and suddenly, he didn't look like the Duke of Sussex or the global public figure. He looked like a man trapped between two worlds, the child who lost his mother and the adult who never truly let her go. But that moment passed. Just as quickly as it appeared, the vulnerability vanished. His face hardened. The wall went back, up. "You don't know me," Harry said coldly. "You don't know what I've been through." "You're right," Colbert replied. "I don't. I only know what you've chosen to make public. And based on that, I have to wonder, maybe your family didn't fail to understand you. Maybe you failed to understand them." That landed harder than any insult. Harry yanked off his mic, dropped it on the floor, and turned away. "This is done, Harry," Colbert began, but it was too late. The prince was already storming off stage, his security details scrambling to catch up. As he neared the curtains, he paused. Just for a second, then he turned back. "You people will never understand," he said, his voice shaking. "You'll never know what it's like to have your entire life dissected by strangers, to have your family drama turned into entertainment." Colbert didn't blink. "But Harry, you're the one putting it on display." And with that, Harry disappeared backstage. The studio was still in stunned silence. The cameras were still rolling. Colbert stood there, the weight of what had just happened heavy in the air. "Well," he said after a pause, that's not quite how we planned tonight's episode. A few nervous laughs trickled through the crowd, but most people were still trying to process what they had just witnessed. Because this wasn't just an awkward celebrity moment. This was a public unraveling. A prince, long branded as a voice of emotional healing, showing the world that healing is meaningless without growth. That trauma, when worn too long, starts to look like armor, and then like a weapon. This was the night Prince Harry faced. The one thing he's carefully avoided, a conversation he couldn't control. The meltdown wasn't just personal, it was symbolic. A man who once spoke of peace, boundaries, and privacy had now become the very spectacle he claimed to run from. And the saddest part? He didn't even seem to realize it. And now, it's your turn to weigh in. Was Colbert too aggressive? Did Harry finally meet someone willing to challenge his narrative? Or was it just another setup for controversy? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your take, because the conversation isn't over. And if you're ready for more moments that cut through the noise, reveal the real stories, and pull back the curtain on the polished masks of fame, make sure to subscribe now. Hit that bell icon, because the next breakdown might be even bigger than this one.